Okay, guys. So we're going to start with a new chapter today. We're going to start with chapter 15 on hour today. We're going to talk about clocks in this chapter, and we're going to talk about time. I want to talk about time to the hour today. But first, I want you to notice my clock in front of me. Now, you've seen this clock in our classroom. You've even seen this type of clock in your simple solutions. And I know that you're looking at this clock already saying, I know the time, that's 1 o'clock, because we've done this a lot in simple solutions. But I'm going to talk a little bit more about it and explain some things more to you. So first, let's look at our analog clock here. Notice there's two hands. There is a long hand and there is a short hand. The long hand we call our minute hand. The short hand is our hour hand. Every space on the clock tells a minute. We're actually going to be talking about this later, what these little lines mean, what these big lines mean on another video. But today I want to just focus on this 12. Whenever the minute hand, the long hand is facing the 12, it's telling me that we are at 0 minutes and it's o'clock. It's of the hour. It's at the 1 hour, so it's 1 o'clock. Okay, how we can remember the long hand being the minute hand and the short hand is our hour hand. If you notice, I put the words down here that say hour and say minute. Notice that the word minute is longer than the word hour. Kind of helps us remember the shorthand because of the shorter word is hour. The longer word, the minute, is our long hand. A little bit to help you there to remember which one is called our minute hand and which one is called our hour hand. Now I know this is 1 o'clock and I know you're looking at this analog clock, but I want to talk about a digital clock. Most of us probably have a digital clock in our homes. I know I have both. I have both an analog clock and a digital clock. If you watched the video from Mr. Jack Hartman earlier today that I posted for us to look and view, he talked about telling time. So I want to take a look at this clock right here. If you notice, there's a number, 2 dots are colon, and then we have more numbers. This AM and PM is not something we need to worry about right now. They're showing it on this clock. AM just tells us that's the morning time. When you see a PM, that tells us it's an afternoon time. So right now, I want to make this clock show the same time over here because this right now is telling me it's 12 o'clock, but this clock I have us looking at it, our analog, is showing 1 o'clock. So to change the time, I just make a 1, put a 1 in front of the 2 dots. This is the hour of 1. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, where the minute hand is at the 12, shows me that there are 0 minutes. So here's 0 minutes. 1 o'clock shows me 0 minutes. So let's take a look at our book. Now that we know that we can say 1 o'clock and we can write digitally 1 o'clock by using the number 1, our colon, which is 2 dots, and 0, 0, let's take a look at our math book today. So if you pause the video, you'll have a chance to look and open up to page 563. You're looking at page 563 with me. You'll see our math words, minute hand and hour hand, which we did talk about today. We have a look over here and we see that this clock is showing us about Abby's dinner time. Hi, Abby. I hope you're saying your name and smiling right now as you look at your book. But we have Abby's dinner time. They put the minute hand, the long minute hand, and put it on 12. They put the short hour hand on 6. And I know you're looking at that saying, well, I know the hour is 6, 0 minutes, it's 6 o'clock. And we can write it with a 6 in front of the 2 dots, shows us our hour, 0, 0. There's no minute started yet, so it's 6 o'clock. So let's take a look then at these 3 clocks down here. Again, we have our minute hand. Let me just get my thing up and running. So we have our minute hand on the 12. We have our hour hand, our shorter hand on the 3. So I'm going to go ahead and trace because I know it's 3 o'clock. So I'm going to trace the 3. They gave me the 3 because my hour is 3 o'clock. So now let's look at number 2. And then we see the hour in front of the 2 dots, or colon. This tells me the hour. 0 minutes telling me it's o'clock. So I know that it is 10 o'clock. So go ahead and write the number 10 on your page. Then I want you to look at number 3. We have our long minute hand on the 12, our short hour hand on the 8. So I know it's 8 o'clock. So I can go ahead and write the number 8 on the line. I want you to turn to the next page with me because I want to talk a little bit more about my hour and minute hand. So if you're looking at page 564 with me, I want you to notice these hands, and I want you to trace these hands in your book. And I want you to notice that my minute hand, when I trace it, I want to make it long enough that it goes all the way up and kind of touches that 12. I need to know that that's the longer hand. Notice where they put the hour hand on the 4. When I trace it, I don't really touch the 4. I'm kind of before the 4. I'm leaving a little space because I need to show that that line, that hour hand, is shorter than the minute hand, so that I can say that's the hour of 4 on the 12 makes it 4 o'clock with that minute hand on the 12. I can digitally write the time. Go ahead and trace over that 4, showing me the hour is 4. 0 minutes for the 2 zeros, showing me that it's 4 o'clock. So let's take a look at number 5. So we have, again, I want you to trace, and I really want you to pay attention as you're tracing. Go ahead and trace that up to the 12. When you trace it, make sure you touch that 12 to show that it's a long hand, but your short hand is going to stop just short of the 9. So this way I know it's 9 o'clock. And I'm going to go ahead and trace, or trace actually write. We don't have to trace it, we're actually writing it. You're going to write the number 9 to show the hour is 9, and it is 9 o'clock. And to make the digital time, we write our hour, 9. To write o'clock, because there's no minutes, it's 0 minutes, we're going to write 2 zeros. Let's take a look at the next one. Again, notice how long that hand is. That minute hand goes up and touches the 12. But I'm going to take my hour hand, I'm going to start or stop just short of the 11. So now I know the hour is 11. It's on the 12. The minute hand's on the 12. So it's 11 o'clock. So I can write the hour for 11 to show o'clock digital time. I just write 2 zeros to show 11 o'clock. Let's take a look then at number 7 as you come down. It talks about our friend Aaron. Aaron eats lunch on an hour that has the hour and minute hands on the same number. What time does Aaron eat lunch? Aaron eats lunch at blank o'clock. So they kind of gave us a clue. They say o'clock. So if I look back at my digital clock, it's o'clock. I know my minute hand, my long hand has to be on the 12. Our question here, when we had to find out what time Aaron eats lunch, they told me that the hour hand and the minute hand are on the same number. So I'm going to move my hour hand to the same number. So it looks like that. When I have both my hour hand and my minute hand on the same number, I actually am making, 12 is the hour, 0, 0 are the minutes, it's 12 o'clock. So I can go over here and know now that the hour is 12. So go ahead and write the number 12 on that line for 12 o'clock. Number 8, where are the minute and hour hands on a clock when it is 11 o'clock? To answer that question for you, and if mom and dad want to help you write this, you can. It would take very long for me to try and write this out on my computer. So the minute hand and the hour hands to show 11 o'clock, minute hand would be on the 12. Your hour hand would be on the 11. That's how we know it's 11 o'clock. If you want to go ahead and write hour hand equals is on the 11 and minute hand is on the 12, you can go ahead and do that and ask mom and dad to help you write that for you, but we did just talk about that just now. I want you now on your own to go ahead and do the next 2 pages. So at this point, you're going to look right next to you on page 565. And at the top, they review a little bit, tell you again how you can look at that long minute hand, that short hour hand, knowing that the hour hand's on the 6th, the minute hand's on the 12th. Here's 6 o'clock. Your digital time, your hour is in the front of the 2 dots. And our 00 also telling me, because that colon separates the hours and the minutes, here's 6 o'clock. So I want you to go ahead on your own, and I want you to answer numbers 1, 2, and 3 at the analog and the digital clocks, and then turn right to the next page, and you're going to do page 566. Here, you're going to be given times, and I want you to write them 2 different ways. I want you to write it o'clock using the analog clock, and I want you to fill in the digital time, and then answer number 4 and 5. When you are done, I would love it if you would take a picture of page 565 and 566 and send it back to me so I can see how well you did in this lesson. Thanks, guys, for listening.